Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Black Four-Leaf Clover, from Check-In. Chapter 71. New Captain, are we going to have something nice happen? You, His Royal Highness Lumial. I need to. Drunken words echoed in the narrow room. Mimosa and Nuo Al's cheeks turned red all of a sudden, and they couldn't stop their mouths about running the train. Okay, I'll take you to see Henry first. I hope this wine will really work. For him, the curse is a huge torture. Yami glanced at Vanessa and the two turned and left first. In his eyes, Kuroba is of unknown origin, but this does not prevent him from trusting unconditionally. Perhaps, as Heiyu said, this is due to the charm of his personality. Well, let's go and have a look first. Kuroba nodded. An imperceptible electric light flashed across his body, and quickly spread away with him as the center. This is the monitoring current and magnetic field that he deployed within 3 months, imitating the method similar to Enilo's monitoring of the Sky Island in One Piece, with the help of the ultimate control of magic power. It can be regarded as a simple magic field, which can detect creatures within a certain range. It's similar to Mimosa's magic flower road sign. Right now Vanessa and Sekal are drunk. If no one takes care of them, if someone picks up the corpse, this is absolutely not what Kuroba wants to see. Ding dang, a new check-in task is released. The system's ethereal prompt sounded suddenly in Kuroba's mind. Kuroba was surprised that missions were issued so frequently. He traveled to the world of Four-Leaf Clover, and the source of his power came from the system check-in task. Having more check-in tasks means that his strength will grow faster. However, Kuroba's smile froze after hearing the system's ethereal prompt. Ding dong, there is no time limit. Please go to the Golden Dawn Stronghold, the office where Vengeance is located, to sign in. After successfully signing in, you will receive rich system rewards. Golden Dawn, Vengeance office. This is the new enemy. Half a day ago, he had a fight with Vengeance in the Magic Knights assessment venue. Even the imposter Richter, who was hiding in his body, almost couldn't help it and went berserk. It can be said that going to Golden Dawn now is a combination of old and new hatred, and I can't afford to go around. Facing the system's prompt, Kuroba wondered if he heard it wrong. Is Captain Kuroba okay? Yami frowned and looked back. Kuroba recovered and said, no, I just happened to think of an important thing, but let's get rid of the curse on Henry first. Yeah, Yami responded, and said, no Al, M.I. Mobo, are you going too? We also want to see the situation of the devil's curse. Nuo Al was startled and said hastily. She had a vague feeling about the devil's curse. It seems that it will be related to itself. I'm also very interested in this matter. Mimosa quickly echoed. Seeing that the two had decided to go, Yami sighed and said, then be careful, let's go and have a look together. Knight Leader, wait a minute. Kuroba frowned. He felt a slight undetectable fluctuation in the magic electromagnetic field just now. Turning his eyes in vain, he said, before we go, let's invite the guests out first. Yami was stunned, and quickly held his breath to concentrate, while sensing the breath. Grabbing the shallow strike in his hand, he slashed towards the corridor below. The pitch-black magic power was poured into the shallow strike, and it instantly transformed into a flying slash with a size of 3 or 4 meters, and rushed towards the corridor below. Boom! A corner of the seemingly impenetrable wall was cut off in an instant. Soon, I saw a figure hiding in the dark, walking out with a face full of embarrassment. Old man Owen, why did you come here? Yami frowned, and said, I don't have any money to pay you back. As for Henry's treatment time, it hasn't come yet. Yami was very surprised that Kuroba was able to discover Owen's existence earlier than him. Just now he was distracted by Kuroba's identity and origin. However, the means of perceiving the breath goes deep into the bones. Otherwise, outside the castle, when the trial is shallow, you will not feel the magic power fluctuations from Sekale. Owen deliberately hid the magical aura on his body, but Yami never expected that Kuroba could detect his existence so accurately. Yami, do you know that you owe me money? Owen wiped the cold sweat off his forehead, and stared. I'm here this time to visit the teacher and to recuperate Henry's body. However, I didn't expect that the alchemist who can refine the magic power control potion of the divine grade is so young. It really makes me, an old guy, feel ashamed. Teacher. Yami was stunned for a moment, looked at the fanatical Owen, and said, aren't you shy to call a boy who is a few dozen years younger than you a teacher? Also, Captain Kuroba is now planning to go and see Henry. He said that the strange magic-absorbing physique may be from the Devil's Curse. Devil's Curse. Owen's expression changed suddenly. Teacher, your point of view is the same as mine. I have studied that strange physique for many years. Recently, I got a book related to conjurers, which may be able to lift the curse on Henry. However, the required magic materials are a bit much. For the elderly Owen, there is nothing better than tossing his school bag in front of the veterans of the industry to show his presence. It felt as if the elementary school students were eager to let the teacher praise them in public in class. Ahem, old man Owen, I advise you to stop playing with an axe in front of Captain Kuroba. Yami coughed dryly and said unceremoniously. Did you see the bottle of wine in our leader's hand? That's the god-grade magic-killing wine, just got rid of a devil curse. There is also this sword. I personally tested it. It is a magic sword. The sword just now is enough to hang. This is the equipment that our new leader of the Black Bull has brought. Let me think about what words to use to describe it. Yami raised the shallow strike in his hand. As the leader of the bottom magic knights, the heart really needs to be strong enough. But being at the bottom for a long time and always being ridiculed, this kind of aggrieved, can be ignored by anyone who wants to go. Seeing Owen staring at the old wine bottle in Kuroba's hand, his eyes widened. He couldn't help but patted him on the shoulder, and said in a shy voice, our head of the family is a man dressed in magic clothes. I said, old man Owen, why don't we discuss one thing? In the future you will help our Black Bulls treat their injuries for free, and we will cancel all the debts owed before, and in the days to come, you can drop by whenever you like. It's a great blessing to be able to follow a god-level alchemist. Seeing Yami, who was going step by step and almost sold Kuroba as a commodity, Nuo Al and Mimosa were stunned. This feeling is like stepping on a boat. I'm afraid it will be sold if I'm not careful. Get out of here, mule. Owen was startled for a moment, and then cursed. Yami, you are planning to make me humiliate myself. With the teacher here, do you still need me to treat your injuries? Speaking of this, Owen carefully bent his waist and said, Teacher, if you are willing to nod, I will go back and resign to the Magic Emperor, and I will come to Black Bull as a student. The materials needed for the teacher's experiment will be covered by the students. Quote. However, teacher, can you let me have a look at this magical wine first? Owen was shocked by the magic sword, but he was more concerned about the drink that claimed to be able to remove the devil's curse. He has seen medicines in various forms, but he has never seen them at all. Medicines can also be refined into medicinal wine. This is simply mind-blowing. The chief pharmacist from the kingdom of four-leaf clover is looking like he can't wait to give himself a big kick. This kind of treatment is very enjoyable. However, if outsiders are to know, whether it is the potion for controlling magic power or the magical wine for eliminating magic, it is all from the hands of the system. Kuroba doesn't know anything about refining medicine. I'm afraid it would be a shame to lose face. To cover up a lie, the best way is to say nothing and do nothing. Only in this way can one maintain the image of an outsider. Uncle Owen, Master Julius has been kind to me, so I can't poach his people, not to mention that you are the kingdom's #1 recovery magister, and I can't let you serve me because of personal desires. Kuroba said lightly. I think you should stay with the Magic Emperor. As for the magic-killing wine, after I use it up, I can give you the bottle. If you feel the water left in it, you can continue to study it. Kuroba has nothing to do with this coquettish idea. The system just provided a bottle of magic-killing wine. Filled Xiaohei halfway, and Vanessa took a sip. For the remaining third, Kuroba doesn't know if can successfully remove Henry's devil curse. After all, compared to Xiaohei's 500 years of time and the curse of admonishment that has been weakened by the years, the curse of absorbing magic that haunted Henry since he was born is probably even more difficult. Water the wine bottle. Owen was startled, and then said happily, the teacher is indeed a hero who sees the same thing. Last time, I exchanged 50 bottles of the magic potion bottle. I heard that Master Julius plans to use this potion as a reward and give it to new students when he finds time. Seeing Owen with an excited face, Kuroba was stunned. He never thought that a sentence that he made out of his mouth had already been put into practice in advance. If you let other freshmen know, I'm afraid I don't know how they will feel. Ding dang, the random sign in task is activated. The host is asked to force out the devil attached to Henry's body within 10 minutes and destroy it. After the sign-in task is successful, the host will receive a system reward. Random check-in task. Kuroba couldn't help raising his brows. He was very surprised that the system triggered tasks one after another. However, this is not the first time Kuroba has come into contact with this situation. If the task with no time limit just now is the mainline sign-in task, then the task of signing in within a limited time is a side task. The rewards that can be obtained will also be higher than the main task. However, the smallest mosquito legs are also meat. For Kuroba, who is eager to improve his own strength, this random check-in task must not slip away under his nose. According to Kuroba's memory, in the original four-leaf clover, there are not many means that can threaten magic. In addition to Yami's dark magic, it is Richter's sword magic, Bartley and the first-generation magic Emperor Lumial's light magic. Finally, there is the repelling magic that Asta has the power of devil. Right now Kuroba is claiming to be the mentor for destroying devil, but in practice, the only thing that can harm devil is the divine-grade demon-killing wine in his hand. The remaining amount is only 1/3. Whether it is really possible to remove the devil from Henry's body is still unknown. However, according to Kuroba's calculations, in the original book, Asta and Ghosh went to Gordon's magic family and investigated about the devil. Through the devil's detection of magic and the discovery of the Black Bull group, there is also a devil's reaction. But judging from the strength of the devil, even if there is a devil in Henry's body, probably just leftovers. Otherwise, even the scheming existence of the word spirit devil would have to spend a lot of time and effort blindly to confuse humans and elves. Turning the four-leaf clover magic book into a five-leaf clover magic book under extreme despair and resentment can lead to the present world in the Shadow Kingdom. As for the low-level devil in Asta's body, it happened to have the real Richter's magic book, so he was able to survive in this world. The devil really exists in Henry, so he should have used an alternative method to smuggle into this world. If the devil could be washed away obediently, Kuroba would have to worry less. Once he dominates Henry's body and does not leave, then Kuroba still has another strong method to get rid of him. Teacher, this is my magical record of Henry's research over the years. Owen put his backhand in the bag and took out a magic book that was 30 centimeters thick. This volume obviously exceeds the size of the bag, and the fluctuation of spatial magic power exists. Is this a magic pocket? Kuroba frowned. This is a rare item in the four-leaf clover kingdom where scientific research is not well developed. Even the ordinary royal family, there are not many people who can carry it with them. Teacher, you are indeed a wise eye, Master Julius. Seeing that I usually carry a lot of materials with me, I specially gave this bag to me. In the four-leaf clover kingdom, there are very few. Owen was stunned, and then said with a bit of pain, if the teacher likes it, you can take it. Kuroba was only a little curious about the magic pocket. He remembered the system, which seemed to have a small storage space. However, they didn't expect this thing to be so scarce. Even Nuoal and Mimosha showed a fiery expression when they saw it. No, I have one too. Kuroba shook his head and refused. However, if you want it, next time you meet the one that doesn't have long eyes, I'll grab two and give it to you. Grab two. Mimosa and Nuoal were dumbfounded. They have seen people who give away things, but they have never seen people who give away stolen things, and their words are so fresh and refined. Is this domineering? Captain, I remember that Finral's younger brother Langris seems to have one. Yami obviously planned to give a divine assist, and Nuoal and Mimosa were stunned. For their thoughts, Kuroba didn't take it seriously. He only had 10 minutes to complete this sign-in task. The magical items created by the magical world are always greater than what Kuroba knows. When Kuroba opened this heavy file book, using memory magic to record, the research history of Henry's condition was directly entered into Kuroba's mind. After Kuroba reacted, everything became clear. Teacher, are you sure? Owen couldn't help but ask after seeing this scene. I have tested that 10 magisters of at least the 3rd level can provide a lot of magic power to mutate Henry's body. This may be related to the devil. Do I need to find someone? There's not much time, there's no need. Kuroba shook his head. In his electromagnetic magic field, he had already enveloped the entire Black Bull group, and he also knew the room where Henry was. Without any stop, he chose the right direction and walked directly. Looking at the back of Kuroba, who turned into the corner and disappeared from sight, Yami took a deep breath of the cigarette and said lightly, "Sure enough, it's the same as what Boss Julius said. This kid is really extraordinary. He unexpectedly uses magic. The field has expanded, and I am afraid that the tuba will be discovered by him in the future. There are quite a lot of secrets in him. Fortunately, he is not an enemy, otherwise this would be a nightmare. However, if Henry really has the devil's curse on him, I'm afraid he is not a simple person." Not much time. Why not much? Obviously a lot. Seeing that Nuo Al and others could not wait to follow, Yami also hurried to catch up. He wanted to see what the devil mentor could do to solve devil Zilla. The dusty wooden door was pushed open by Kuroba, and there was a damp smell in the dark room. In the original book, before Asta came, only Yami knew about Henry's existence. As a sloppy uncle, it's not bad that he doesn't care about his size. It's impossible for him to help clean up. As for the other team members, once they get close, the magic power in their bodies will be quickly plundered. What, people? Henry lay on the bed, opened his eyes with difficulty, looked at Kuroba, and Nuo Al and the others showed unexpected expressions. You guys, hurry up, go, or else. You will be sucked away by me, magic power. Nuo Al and Mimosa couldn't help but startled, and their expressions changed drastically in the next moment. They feel the huge magical power in their bodies that is far beyond what ordinary people can compare, and it is passing away quickly. Calculating in this way, within 5 minutes, their magic power will be completely absorbed. Not to mention ordinary people. Henry, this is the new leader of Kuroba. He is responsible for breaking the curse in your body. Yami hesitated for a moment, then added, it's an attempt. As for whether Kuroba will succeed, Yi has some inexplicable expectations in her heart. After all, this is a man in divine attire. However, all this is just his guess. Yami didn't want to give Henry hope, and was deprived of it in the end. Thank you, Yami. Captain. Henry froze for a moment, then continued intermittently, no, but. Last time, it wasn't, have you tried? Don't worry, you'd better not talk for now, or my ears can't stand it. Yami said unceremoniously by digging his ears helplessly. Having said that, Yami turned his gaze to Kuroba. Captain Kuroba once tested that when the magic power in Henry's body accumulates to a certain level, it will change. I know that you have the magic power of the zero domain of ice, but if you feel that you are not close, you can let me take the shot. In the last test, Owen also used 10 magisters from the 3 domains to be able to shake the curse in Henry's body. It's not as simple as 1 + 1. Don't worry, 1-0 field won't work, then use 2. Kuroba patted Yami's shoulder and walked out in a row. 1 step down. The magic power dormant in the body was deliberately opened a gap by Kuroba. Originally, the magic power that was slowly flowing away because of Henry's magic-absorbing physique, the rate of loss suddenly skyrocketed. In the narrow room, a piercing cold wind was blowing directly. There is frost emerging out. Through the magic field, Kuroba could clearly feel that the magic power in his body was flowing towards Henry. Originally lying on the bed, Henry's body was weak and shriveled, and his skin slowly filled up like a balloon. A head of hair like a waterfall, also automatically without wind. The curse in Henry's body is the ability to absorb magic power. However, like the floor drain, there will always be a saturated state. What Kuroba has to do now is to let the magic power filled in Henry's body reach the limit level. Many thoughts flashed in Kuroba's mind, and he took another step forward. The dormant zero magic power in the body exploded without warning. Exclamation mark. A tyrannical beam of magic power shot straight out of Kuroba's body. The biting cold wind was blowing backwards, and even Yami and others standing outside the door couldn't help but take a few steps back. Dark cave. The magic book on Yami's waist flew out immediately, and dark magic emerged, forming a black hole the size of a round shield in front of him. This trick can swallow all the approaching attacks and magic power through the dark hole. What a powerful magic power. Is this the new leader? Outside the stronghold, Magna, Luck and Asta are obviously discussing each other. Feeling this huge surge of magic power, Magna's face suddenly became ugly. A stiff, nervous smile crept across Luck's face. Is this the strength of the new leader? I really want to fight him again. Hey, what are you talking about? Why can't I feel it? It's just that it's suddenly getting colder. Asta said anxiously, startled for a moment. It can be said that at this moment, only those who were in the stronghold of the Black Bull Regiment were alarmed by this huge aura. Only, the shock that was just emerging, and the frenzy and desire that just surfaced on Luck's face. The next moment, Luck's expression changed dramatically, and he turned around to look at the castle stronghold, showing an expression of disbelief and fear on his face. The words spit out shocked Magna even more. This magic exists, and I don't want to fight monsters. Senior Magna, Senior Luck, what happened? Why can't I feel anything? Ah, where did my magic book go? Asta suddenly screamed strangely. In the narrow room, the tyrannical magic power rolled back like a tide. The biting cold wind covered the thick rock walls with layers of ice crystals. Henry, who was originally lying on the bed, had hair like a waterfall fluttering without the wind. The skin exposed on the body quickly spread out, faintly visible black spells one after another. An evil aura that is hugely different from that of human beings spreads quickly. This fluctuation, as Kuroba's magic power was swallowed, became intensified. After being in the dark cave, Yami and others in the healing jellyfish cast by Owen couldn't help but change their faces. Is this the most advanced zero-domain magic power? Mimosa clenched her fists and said. This is far beyond the level of ordinary regiment leaders. Regarding Mimosa's comments, all the people present fell silent. Anyone who can reach zero magic power is qualified to be the head of the group. Kuroba, your magical power is really amazing, but I'm afraid it's not enough to make the curse in Henry's body reach its limit. Let me help, Yami said with a cigarette in his mouth. It can be said that facing the strength of the magic power released by Kuroba with all his strength, Yami is a little bit inferior. However, he felt fortunate that Kuroba hadn't broken through the range of ordinary people. If he breaks through further, he has reached the realm of Magic Emperor. No need, it seems that this curse is really not an ordinary devil. Kuroba smiled and looked at Henry. It's time to finish the warm-up. 1-0 field won't work, so use the second magic source. Second source of magic, Yami and the others froze. For this remark, it is obviously a bit unfamiliar. A daze flashed across Nuo Al's face, and he hurriedly looked at Kuroba's magic book. Upon entering the scene, their pupils suddenly shrank. Boom! The golden thunder light instantly detonated in Kuroba's body. The violent air wave impacted, rolling back and forth in all directions like a raging wave. In the biting cold wind, countless imperceptible lightning arcs quickly diffused in the air. The magic power that had originally reached the limit of the zero domain, at this moment, seemed to have broken through the limit and quickly climbed up. In the narrow room, those window vases, together with the furniture, seemed to be unable to withstand the huge magic power at this moment, making a pleasant trembling sound. Plop! Owen's legs became weak instantly, and he knelt on the ground on one knee. He widened his eyes and looked at Kuroba's thin figure with a face full of disbelief. He is just a recovery magister. Unlike a battle magician, he has never seen such a scene at all. However, a boy who is less than 20 years old not only has the identity of a god-level alchemist. At the same time, they have developed 2 zero-domain magic sources. Does this still allow old men like them to live? Did you see that? Kuroba is holding the 2-leaf clover magic book. Yami's expression also became serious. Taking a deep breath of the cigarette, he said, this feeling can only be felt in Boss Julius. Sure enough, he is an unfathomable brat. People compare with others, and he is so angry that he compares things with others, so he has to throw them away. Kuroba didn't care about the changes in the expressions of Yami and others. Ask for flowers, 0. What he needs to do now is force the devil out of Henry's body. Half of the 10 minutes have passed. If you delay, then sign into the task randomly, and it will slip under your nose in vain. Get out. Kuroba's eyes froze suddenly, and the magic power coming out of his body was condensed to the extreme in an instant. The next moment, it rushed straight into Henry's body like a raging wave. What? Painful screams resounded through the entire Bull Regiment stronghold. The black shackles on Henry's body quickly snapped off one by one. 0. The next moment, the power of the devil dormant in his body, like a frenzy, directly attacked. A huge black shadow came out through the body. In the void, it turned into a vague figure. The power of the devil, which was as black as ink, spread rapidly like a viscous liquid. Directly enveloped the entire room. Under the illusory figure, a devil with long horns on the head and 6 lacquer kuroba on the back is formed. The scarlet eyes suddenly opened, and a soft and piercing husky female voice suddenly sounded. Who are you? Dare to hinder me from absorbing magic power? Are you not afraid of bearing my curse? The sudden appearance of devil changed the expression of Yami and others drastically. However, before they could react, the sight of them made their eyes widen. I'll talk about whether to curse or not later, I'm in a hurry, please go to hell. Kuroba didn't look at it directly, and grabbed the magical anti-demon wine tightly with his backhand, and poured it directly on Devil's body. That posture is like gangsters fighting. Whether it's Devil or not, at this moment, it doesn't seem to matter anymore. Devil was stunned for a moment. It was rare for him to appear on the stage once, and he was splashed with wine. Where is this face? However, before it could react, an inexplicable pain swept through its body. The moment the liquor touched the illusory body, pitch-black smoke rose rapidly. It felt like it was burning. What is this thing? Why can it hurt my body? The scream resounded through the entire bull stronghold. The expressions of all the people in it changed drastically. They all looked at the room where Kuroba and the others were. 960. Those 2 huge forces made them feel like they were sitting on pins and needles. This is demon eliminating wine, it's something specially designed to deal with the devil's curse. Kuroba looked at the devil whose figure was fading rapidly in front of him, and couldn't help frowning. However, just as I thought, with just 1/3 of the demon-killing wine, it really can't get rid of you. Little devil, do you want to wipe me out with this little thing? Devil was startled for a moment, then growled. You are belittling me. I want to tell you, the great devil Magicula will not just die like this. The tyrannical devil's power was instantly urged to the extreme. Under the rewinding wind, Ranghe retreated half a degree. Seeing the devil who called himself Magicula, Kuroba couldn't help but frown. In the original book, Magicula should be the most frequent devil. Whether it is Gordon's family of conjurations, Charlotte, the head of Blue Rose, Leonuo Al's mother, and the current princess of Heart Kingdom have also encountered its curse. According to Kuroba's deduction, even Nozel dared not openly investigate and discuss Magicula's real name. Worried about encountering interference from the law of curses, this is enough to prove that the real Magicula may not be the devil Ruffalo served in Spade Kingdom and in the Dark Tripolar. There is also Devil Zagrid, the spirit of speech. Magicula. Yami's face suddenly changed. Of course, he has heard about devil's deeds. Especially Magicula, the devil's real name that has been circulating in the mouth of the mentor. Because, the conjurers of the Gordon family, the ancestors signed a contract with Devil Magicula, and obtained the ability to kill with curses. In the territory of the 4-leaf Clover Kingdom, people should keep a respectful distance. It's just that Yami never imagined that there was such an existence hidden in Henry's body. Little devil, I curse you to die immediately. A hoarse voice suddenly sounded. The power of the black devil tumbling all around quickly gathered and turned into a big black hand, directly pulling towards Kuroba's chest. The sea dragon's lair. Nuo Al's coquettish voice broke out first. A little space away from the magic wand in his hand, the majestic magic power was released, and a water curtain shield was formed around Kuroba's body. However, before Nuo Al became happy, once the dark devil's power touched Hailong's lair, he was not blocked at all. Pierce through the water curtain directly and chase after him. The violent scene changed everyone's expressions. Hastily looked over to Kuroba. Lightning, crackling thunder light circulated on Kuroba's body, and the whole body appeared half a meter away as if shifting. Let the power of the defeated devil hit the wall 10 times. The wall that was originally covered with ice crystals quickly decayed and crumbled under the watchful eyes of everyone, as if it had died. Escaped. Devil couldn't help but startled. Looking at the magic book in front of Kuroba, he laughed mischievously. Little devil, I thought you were crazy, and you woke me up because of your unique means. I didn't expect that this is the most rubbish 2-leaf clover magic book, and I tell you a cruel news, except for special magic, your ice and thunder can't hurt me. Devil is surprised that Kuroba has a dual attribute magic book. But the only thing that makes it feel fortunate is that there is no underworld magic and light magic. Otherwise, it is undoubtedly a troublesome existence for Devil. I said, it's not that I underestimate you, a fake, it seems that you underestimate me. Kuroba smiled and nodded, looking at the phantom of devil in front of him. Grabbing the void with his right hand, he said, 4.8, to deal with devil, of course use devil to solve it. I forgot to tell you, I have another grimoire. Brother devil, if you don't come out now, when will you wait? The inexplicable words, not to mention the devil, even Yami and others were stunned. Kuroba is a grimoire, and the two magical attributes have exceeded the range of ordinary people. And now there's a second grimoire. Is this still alive? A pitch-black devil power rushed in without warning outside the window. Looking at the dirty black grimoire, Yami and others' eyes widened suddenly. Isn't this Asta's grimoire? Mimosa froze. The look at Kuroba was full of disbelief. No, it should be said that everyone present, even the devil who calls himself Magicula, is no exception. It is common sense that one owns a grimoire. Now Kuroba not only breaks common sense, has dual attributes grimoire, but also can control other people's grimoire. This is too unexpected. Who are you and why are you here to help a human? Devil suddenly growled. If Kuroba's dual attribute grimoire is ineffective against devil, then this grimoire with devil's power is deadly and highly poisonous. Hey, senior, it's the first time we meet. You don't need to know who I am, no matter how powerful you were, how strong. As long as you lose, you should be sick now. Oh, yes, I think it's very difficult for you to split out of Magicula's body, otherwise you wouldn't be able to, not even the host grimoire. The voice of the voice seemed to come from the other side, directly hitting the depths of Devil's soul. For all this, Kuroba didn't take it seriously. He had only one thought on his mind right now. Come on, boy, I'm in a hurry. Got it, big brother. Kuroba nodded with a smile and looked at Devil, catching the void with his right hand. Grimoire belonging to Asta, blooming a dazzling black and red light. A black as ink, like a rusty broadsword, emerged from the magic book. The sword of severing demons. Without any hesitation, Kuroba stretched out his right hand, gripping the demon-severing sword tightly. Under the endless devil's power, under the crazily rewinding, the originally 3-foot blade spread out in an instant. Wherever the black light passed, the blade transformed and condensed, turning into the size of a door panel. Looking at the devil with a distorted expression, he calls himself Magicula. There is no trace of bells and whistles, and it straddles directly. No, I know who you are, you traitor. A hysterical roar sounded, and the words were full of unwillingness. However, in the face of Kuroba's rush, all resentment paled. A black light flashed like a radiant light, directly passing over the devil's body. The originally distorted body quickly collapsed, as if turning into a vortex out of thin air, pulling away all the devil's power, covering the entire room. In a blink of an eye, the entire dark room was bright again, and the dark smell was gone. Ah, is this my demon-severing sword? It's so handsome. Senior Luck, Senior Magna, have you seen it? Asta came first and blocked the door. Seeing the extended version of the demon-severing sword in Kuroba's hand, his eyes were twinkling with stars. Luck, Magna and the others also rushed over. However, the focus is obviously out of touch with Asta. Short doubting, is your focus wrong? Yami said while holding Asta's head. Your grimoire has been used, don't you think there is something wrong with your brain? One person, one grimoire, that is a constant law. Even Bartley, the reincarnated elf, cannot use Vengeance's world tree magic. This is enough to prove that this law does exist. However, now Kuroba has broken this law. Ah, my grimoire. Asta groaned strangely, and immediately picked out his nostrils indifferently and said, this grimoire was originally given to me by Captain Kuroba because he didn't want it. He took it and used it. It doesn't matter. Sent. Those present were dumbfounded. They finally understand what it is to worry about. According to Asta's idea, in modern times, stepping on a horse is like a light on the head, and the green is very pleasing. However, Kuroba didn't take all of this to heart. He has done so much, all in order to complete the system's check-in tasks. It's just that there is no way to deal with Devil's underworld magic, and other means. After that, it might be a bit tricky to face other devils. If this reward can have a little effect on Devil, that should be pretty good. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for beheading the split devil and completing the task of signing into 363. It took 9 minutes and 30 seconds. The system is calculating the reward. Ding dang, the reward phase is successful, and the host gets the breath of thunder. A warm current of information poured into Kuroba's mind like a source. After a short period of brain swelling, a series of information about the breath of thunder was imprinted in Kuroba's mind. If Kuroba remembers correctly, the breath of thunder comes from my wife Zenitsu's breath of thunder in Demon Slayer, Blade. It can mobilize the power of thunder in the body, synchronize with the breathing of the cells, activate the body to the extreme, and burst out the strongest and fastest EI slash. The power is like thunder and thunderbolts, even the naked eye can't keep up. Host. Kuroba. Magic. Zero field, the second magic source zero field. Magic pressure. Ultimate magic pressure. Magic. Ice creation magic, Dragon Slayer magic elementary. Weapon. Blank shallow hit. Magic items. None. Magic pet. None. Kendo. Breath of thunder. Looking at the system properties panel, Kuroba touched the tip of his nose helplessly. This randomly triggered sign in task. The rewards that can be obtained are limited in the first place. Being able to get the breath of thunder can be regarded as making up for it. Now after getting the shallow strike, there is no disadvantage of being equipped with the means to cast it. Although, there is only one type of sword technique in this thunder breathing technique. But, for Kuroba, enough is enough. Kuroba, what's the matter with Henry? Yami threw away the cigarette that had been extinguished for a long time, took out another cigarette and lit it again. It can be said that today's Kuroba is like a scene of watching the lights on a horse, so he has to take a breath to calm down. Don't worry, the curse in his body has been eliminated. The only thing that is fortunate is that this is not the real Magicula, but a split body of it. Kuroba covered Grimoire with his backhand and threw it to Asta. According to Kuroba's estimation, the 5-leaf clover grimoire in Asta's hands, the devil that hosts it, is not as simple as an inferior devil. Otherwise, in this highly hierarchical world, the devils who survived in the other world and the underworld should have a more serious concept of hierarchy. When you eliminated devil just now, you met a split body called Magicula. A look of indifference. It is enough to show that the deep-rooted concept of hierarchy in the devil has not survived in this cognition called the lower-level devil. Splitter. Yami was taken aback. You mean, the curse really came from a split body of Magicula backquote. If you remove the curse now, will it know? As for Magicula, even this world cannot be discussed casually. Now Kuroba has killed its split body. This kind of existence is similar to that. In order to keep the curse alive, the ontology separates a trace of thought body and stores it in the body of the cursed target. First, it can strengthen the power of the curse. Second, in the continuation of the bloodline, the curse will not be weakened. Don't worry, even if it knows, it won't come anytime soon. Don't forget, I'm the mentor to destroy devil. Kuroba patted Yami's shoulder and said with a smile. According to the records in the original book, there are spade kingdoms where devils are rampant. The original royal family was destroyed by the Dark Triplarity and seized the political power. However, it took more than 10 years before the country was completely suppressed. At the same time, Asta and Yuno, half a year after joining the Magic Knights, showed their minions and destroyed the Diamond Kingdom. At the same time, as the Princess of the Heart Kingdom, she also encountered the curse of Magicula. According to Kuroba's inference, these devils should have some kind of plot in choosing this time to collect magic users in the underworld. There should be a high probability now that there is no way to deal with Kuroba. Therefore, in the next 6 months, Kuroba needs to improve his strength from the system as soon as possible. By the way, it's getting late, and I should return the knife. Kuroba took another look at Henry, and then took the shallow knife back. Now that he has the breathing method of thunder, this shallow strike can't let Yejuo wave casually. What's more, once in the future, let this Chianda get its real name, Shiji and Swastika, its strength will skyrocket, and it will be a sharp weapon against devil. Destroy the devil mentor. Yami was taken aback for a moment. Just saw Kuroba from beginning to end, splashed a little wine, and used Asta's grimoire. No other means of destroying the devil has ever appeared. Could it be that this kid is still hiding his strength? Hey, Captain Kuroba, don't you know how to use swords? Can you lend me that shallow sword? Don't borrow it, I will give you one if I have a chance in the future. Ah, then tell me where you snatched it, and I'll ask for it too. On the other hand, it is separated from the four-leaf clover kingdom by the Spade Kingdom royal city in the strong magic zone. The power of the dark devil pervades the cause of the royal city. The screams and the unscrupulous laughter echoed. Haha, Godroya, it seems that your devil's power has already been released to the 35% level. The white mist blew past, and at the top of the 10-meter-high tower, it finally turned into a pale and ferocious thin man. The eagle's eyes turned in vain, and locked on the square below, and the sight of it was a mountain of corpses. On the walls surrounded by rocks, there were 3 or 4 magisters with terrified faces, running around. However, no matter how they, the good ones, attack, the strength of the rock walls condensed after giving devil's power is stronger than steel. A burly figure like an iron tower stood on the square. The round eye sockets, the round eyeballs, were about to fall out. Foil, don't forget that our goal is to enter the ranks of the Dark Apostles, and the development of devil's power must reach at least 40%. Godroya, who was like an iron tower, laughed ferociously. His eyes turned in vain, and he locked on the huge castle in the sky suspended in the center of the king's capital. However, before they could react, a low-pitched bell sounded like it was coming from the other side. When the long bell sounded like a magic sound, reverberating in the royal city for a long time without being able to dissipate. Godroya and Foil's expressions changed slightly, and after looking at each other, they said in a deep voice, "What happened? This big bell can only ring when a major event occurs. It's been 3 years since the last time when we suppressed an army rebellion. HMPH, no matter what it is, with the presence of 3 supreme adults, what can go wrong?" Foil snorted coldly. "You'd better get rid of the other people quickly, let's go to see a balance together." As soon as these words fell, the faces of the 4 magisters who were looking for an opportunity to escape all around turned pale. Looking at Godroyan's ferocious and ravaging eyes suddenly turned, before he had time to think, they rushed violently. Ice creation magic, ice cone. Fire creation magic, fire bomb. Wind creation magic, wind tornado. Iron creation magic, iron stone. Together with the terrified roar, the 4 waves of magic power surged desperately to the extreme. This is also beyond their control. After they were caught here, they threw themselves into the gladiatorial fight here. But seeing with his own eyes, he realized that the monster in front of him was killing one-sidedly here. Right now this is the final opportunity. If you don't try your best now, when will you wait? Boom. The colorful magic attacks landed on Godroya's body in a blink of an eye, and a violent explosion burst out. Together with the thick floor of the square, it also collapsed. Cracks spread out like spider webs. Seeing the attack that hit instantly, the faces of the 4 who made the shot showed ecstasy. However, just as this gleam of joy appeared on their faces, their pupils suddenly shrank at the sight. Boom. The big step fell, causing the whole ground to shake suddenly. Godroya, covered in black rock armor, walked out of the ruins of the explosion. Turning his eyes in vain, he laughed ferociously. "An ant-like creature, I am Master Godroya, and I will become a member of the Dark Apostles in the future. You should be my stepping stones." Boom. Godroya stepped heavily, and under the great earthquake, he appeared in front of a bald man like a ghost. He possesses the magical power of the 4 domains, and he was originally a first-class powerhouse in his hometown. It never occurred to him that facing this group of people who claimed to be devil's envoys in front of them, they would be completely helpless. What? Suddenly, 4 screams sounded one after another. It wasn't until the last head was smashed that Godroya raised his head abruptly, and exchanged glances with Foil. The moment the magic power on his body soared, he turned into a black shadow and rushed straight to the floating fortress in the center of the royal city. As soon as he arrived at the entrance above the castle, he saw several black shadows coming from all directions. "Black Ross, Yearlin, do you know what happened?" Godroya looked at the man who also landed on the palace, and couldn't help asking. However, the visitor obviously didn't take it seriously, and after a cold glance, he quickly passed by and stopped in front of the 3 king chairs. "You bastard, didn't you just achieve the release of 40% of the devil's power ahead of time and join the Dark Apostles?" Godroja's face sank, and he clenched his fists secretly. A trace of displeasure flashed across Foil's face, but he quickly recovered and said in a deep voice, "My lord, they are coming, let's go there quickly." As soon as these words fell, leaning on the king's chair on the left, a dark wind blew up without warning. The tyrannical devil's power exploded like a frenzy, sweeping the entire palace. Gad, Chbg, Roha and others who had rushed here felt the coercion in the breath, the panic and surrender in the blood, prompting them to kneel on the ground with a plop. Meet Master Zenon. When the 5 people shouted in unison, they lowered their heads even lower. As an existence endowed with the power of a devil, they understand better the strict hierarchy among the devils. Are you staying in the capital, Zero Domain, who possesses more than 30% of devil's power? A hoarse and cold voice suddenly sounded. Zenon is the second child of the Dark Triad, possessing bone magic, coupled with 80% of the devil's power. In the original book, one person wiped out the Diamond Kingdom alone. At the same time, after forcibly breaking into the 4-leaf Clover Kingdom and arriving at the grounds of the Golden Dawn, he single-handedly killed Vengeance, who was known as the closest to the Magic Emperor. At that time, Vengeance was in the 4-leaf Clover Kingdom, after the alliance with the Heart Kingdom. At the reminder of Lalapechka, the Princess of Hearts, she personally tempered the remaining power of the elves. Unfortunately, in this case, he was still instantly killed by Zenon. At that time, Zenon didn't even use 60% of the devil's power. Master Zenon, we are the guards staying in the royal city. We are the Dark Apostles. 4 different responses sounded at the same time. In Spade Kingdom, the captain needs to comprehend at least 5% of devil's power. The guard must reach at least 30%. Oh, so there are 2 newly promoted Dark Apostles. It seems that you can already withstand 40% of the devil's power. Zenon raised his eyebrows and said in surprise. It just so happened that I got the holy metaphor from Lord Magicula. In the 4-leaf Clover Kingdom that is adjacent to us in the area separated from strong demons, someone talked about Magicula's real name and destroyed its curse. In order to find out what happened for this matter, I hope to send someone from among you to deal with it. These words made Godroya and Fuel's faces suddenly embarrassed. As defenders, it would be a shame for anyone whose strength improved slowly. Right now, Master Zenon, one of the Dark Tripolars, personally delegated the task. This made Godroya and Fujar even more anxious. After looking at each other, they said anxiously, Master Zenon, as the loyal guard of Spade Kingdom, for the Oracle of Master Magicula, we are willing to go to 4-leaf Clover Kingdom. Are you going? Zenon frowned. Master Zenon, don't worry, all the Dark Warriors are attacking the remnants of the royal family. Right now, there are only a group of guards left in the royal city. If you send the Dark Apostles, it means that the royal city will also be defenseless. Godroya hurriedly opened his mouth to explain. Although Fuel and I haven't reached the level of the Dark Apostle, we have already been able to release 35% of the magic power. Counting the strength of the Zero Domain that I have, I want to go to the 4-leaf Clover Kingdom and destroy the curse of Master Magicula. It's just easy to catch. What's more, as soon as you make a move, let the Dark Believers run errands, that will make the 4-leaf Clover Kingdom mistakenly think that there is no one in our Spade Kingdom. The hurried voice echoed in the huge palace. Godroya, who lowered his head to the ground, suddenly became short of breath. In his eyes, the 4-leaf Clover Kingdom, a pustule living on fertile land, has no existence worthy of attention except the Magic Emperor. Right now, this is a great opportunity to show off yourself. Your name is Godroya, right? Zenon's voice sounded again. Looking at Godroya who was shaking, he said in a cold voice, you were right, since you and Fuel want to go, then let you go. Remember, if it is a person who uses the magic of the underworld, no matter what his identity is, I want to live. Thank you Master Zenon. Godroya and Fuel were shocked, and they shouted anxiously with joyful faces. When they raised their heads, the feeling of oppressive magic power was gone. Zenon, who was on the throne, has also disappeared. HMPH, I hope you can come back alive, don't embarrass our Spade Kingdom. Yi Erlin stood up with a sullen complexion, and dusted himself casually. Then he disappeared in place with the Black Ross. Watching this scene, Godroya clenched his fists tightly, and said with a ferocious face, what a bastard Yi Erlin, just strengthen me a little, and be so arrogant. This time I'm going to the 4-leaf Clover Kingdom, I must bring back a few nether realms to Lord Zenon. Gia, Godroya, it's hard to say that we suddenly adapted to 40% Devil's power, and we were able to solve the 4-leaf Clover Kingdom, the so-called Magic Emperor. Let's hurry up and go through the strong magic zone, but it will take a lot of time. In the early morning of the next day, golden sunlight passed through the window and scattered on Kuroba's bed. Feeling this long-lost natural awakening, I couldn't help stretching. However, this touch seems a bit awkward. A beautiful object flashed in Kuroba's mind, and he squeezed it subconsciously. You really are not His Royal Highness Lumiao. An indifferent expression showed no emotion. Kuroba was visibly disappointed by the unfamiliar noise. After opening his sleepy eyes, he looked at the round buttocks touched by his right hand under the black skirt. Kuroba knew he was wrong. With Nero Sekale's petite and cute body, the place is really not as good as Vanessa. However, Kuroba was also surprised by her devotion and tentative spirit of, I don't go to hell, whoever goes to hell. This kind of welfare, he doesn't mind a little more every day. Captain Kuroba, you've finally woken up. If it wasn't for Mimosa and Nuo Al pulling me, I would definitely not leave that night. I want to have something wonderful with you. Vanessa suddenly poked her head in from outside the door. Ask for flowers. Looking at Vanessa, who was drunk early in the morning, Kuroba consciously took the 5-clawed golden dragon back. How can he say it now? He is also the new head of the Black Bull Regiment. You can't let the members meet and collect benefits. Sister Vanessa, don't be like this. Nuo Al and Mimosa hurried forward and stopped Vanessa, who was riding on the alcohol. Thinking back to the drunken Vanessa, her cheeks were still burning when she gave them a violent education last night. I especially remembered that the figure that appeared in my mind from time to time last night was right in front of my eyes. This made them take another look. However, when they saw Nero in cool clothes, they were stunned. Small skirt, small horns, small body, cute. It looks petite, but the indifferent temperament exuding from the whole body makes people feel inexplicably lovable. It can be said that Nero gave them the first feeling. This riding horse is a rival in love. They were so focused on stopping Vanessa that they completely ignored the threat posed by a bird. Hey, Captain Kuroba, you don't get up early yet, everyone else is going to perform the task. Nuo Al suddenly shouted anxiously, and the arrogant attribute was directly activated. A refugee like you who has no noble status, you should work harder, and the regiment will be valued by others. However, as soon as he said this, he saw Nero walk to the door with a blank expression. Sorry, I have something I want to solve alone with him. Boom. The door was slammed shut. Nuo Al and Mimosa, who had been shut down all of a sudden, looked at each other in shock. An indescribable picture appeared in Liao Yu's mind. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe.